Thanks everyone for joining us. This is our first session of Wando Little Studios, and we are very excited to have Javon Raalte here. And she's going to talk about her path toward where she is now, all of her musical instincts, and also play for us. And we're really excited. So let's, without further ado.
Hi. Yeah, like she said, I'm Javon Raalte. I'm really excited to be here with y'all today. Thank you to the library and Dolores and Melissa and Julian and everybody else for including me in this. I was really honored to get asked. I was not expecting it, but I'm excited to be here, and I think I have some cool stuff to say. So a little bit about me. I'm Jay. I'm the guitarist, co-founder, and manager of award-winning rock band Jump Castle Riot. I'm also the Charleston 2018 Guitarist of the Year and a Reverend Guitarist featured artist. I've played every major stage in Charleston except the Volvo Stadium and the Coliseum, but we're working on those. But more than any of that, I'm a kid who really likes music and really, really loves to play the guitar. Before I knew what stages were or what being a rock star was, I remember listening to REM in my dad's car and playing the badminton racket like a guitar along to U2's Rattle and Hum, like live rock concert movie thing. I wrote Bono on all of my school papers for like way too many years. And I didn't do it because I knew that being a rock star was cool or you could make money or anything like that. Just something inside me really, really loved music. And I think that's really important because I watched this great talk with Victor Wooten recently where he said, when you walk into a room and there's an instrument hanging, it's not making any sound, and it's not going to make any sound unless you pick it up. That the music, first and foremost, is something that comes from within you, and whatever instrument you play or whatever instrument you have access to is just a tool to helping to channel that out in the world. At some level, get your hands on whatever piece of junk gear you can and just start doing it. Don't create barriers in your mind to getting to start what you want to do.
She said, "You're no good for me. I'll never be the person that you want me to be." He said, "I'm no good for you. I never do the things that I know I'm supposed to do." They left the room and parted ways, the things that could have happened. Well, I guess we'll never know what would have happened if they'd stayed. The sky was black and he looked back. She didn't turn around. He gave up hope. He walked home, haunted by the sound of used to be's. Haunted by the sound of used to be's. What used to be, used to be, used to be. What could have been, maybe. What used to be, can never be again, again. Time passed and he moved on, and now he's living well. Took a job in San Francisco, started over, found a girl. She's tacking up the picket fence a million miles away. She's really very comfortable. She doesn't think about what used to be. Doesn't think about what used to be. What used to be, used to be, used to be. What could have been, maybe. What used to be, can never be again, again.
And this is the part on the recorded version I'm making right now that has a great slide guitar solo, but you're just gonna have to imagine that tonight.
Somewhere in another world, she didn't walk away. They could be wed, they could be dead. We'll never know, she didn't stay. Now he's working to-dos, now they're spent on used to be's. Your chances are spent on used to be's. What used to be, used to be, used to be. What could have been, maybe. What used to be, used to be. Can never be again. What used to be, used to be. What could have been, maybe. What used to be, used to be. Can never be again. Again. Can never be again. Again.
Went to see Buddy Guy. If you don't know who Buddy Guy is, he's an amazing, multi-Grammy winning blues cat. One of the very early, Chicago blues, playing with B.B. King and Muddy Waters, and all those guys kind of built the genre. And so we had backstage passes, and we went backstage, and he said, "Oh, do you play guitar?" He was really nice. He said, "Do you play guitar?" I said, "Yes, sir, I'm a blues player." And he said, "Do you want to play on stage tonight?" I said, "You bet I do." And I don't really get stage fright. That's not a thing I really deal with. But standing in the wings of the Performing Arts Center, waiting to get the little polka dot guitar strapped on me to go walk out in front of 2,000 people with Buddy Guy was about the closest I've ever come. It was a big deal. And I'm sure if I watched that tape now, I would think it was terrible and I was out of time and it was just a disaster. But in the big scheme of things, it wasn't. I took the shot. People were excited about it. I got a learning experience. It was a lot of fun. And actually, Buddy, who was also stoked with it, we played some songs together, and then this was at the end of the show. He left. He just walked off the stage and left me in the middle of the Performing Arts Center, standing all by myself with his backing band to close out the show, which was another one of those. You don't have a lot of options but to land it, because it's not getting landed otherwise.
Empty walls and neon halls and tripping in the streets with all the sheep. They never sleep. I found myself wishing for you, but I'll check myself for missing you. We both know where this road is headed to. Tattoos, hats, mug shaped like cats, and even counting all of that, I still feel so damn empty. I could die, or maybe I could staring out my window pane, contemplating everything. Is introspection valuable, or is it merely vain? And they said these would be the best times of our lives. These will be the things that we define ourselves by.
this one when I was writing it. I didn't mean to write a song. I was walking around with a friend, and I had been in this relationship that it was long distance, and so there was a lag between when you sent things and when they got there. And so due to this weird quirk, I had gotten dumped. And then a week later, I got this box, this package of all of these beautiful gifts, and it's really weird. Total mind trip. But in this box were a bunch of really gorgeous things, handmade wooden guitar picks, and 147, actually it was 174, but I thought it was 147 little origami stars. They'd taken like strips of paper and written nice things on them and folded them all up. And there was like one for every day that we'd known each other. And I got them, and it's like, are you serious? This is really bad timing. And I was telling my friend, I was complaining about it. I was like, God, what am I gonna do with these origami stars? And he said, you know, I think that's a song title. You should write a song about it. So I did. And it turns out, again, that it was 174, but I'm really glad I didn't know that at the time, because that would have sounded really terrible when you sing it.
A picket fence surrounds the backyard of my mind. Worn weathered, still it stands, a testament of time. Once covered in wisteria, those waterfalls of flowers have gone the way of silk airplanes, payphones, and Dwight D. Eisenhower. I did make sure he was dead before I wrote that line. I never felt as sure as I did about you. I knew I'd follow you, whatever life you choose. Just 'cause I believed it, that didn't make it true. And when you'd had enough, there was nothing I could do. I've got 147 origami stars, 6 handmade guitar picks, and infinite hours. I've got letters and paintings, and love-struck haikus. Just tell me, what am I supposed to do with all these pieces of you? I did my best to treat you right. I promise you I cared. When you left for better company, you left me unprepared. And the situation put you back against a wall. It's nobody's fault. We'll both take the fall. I've got 147 origami stars, 6 handmade guitar picks, and infinite hours. I've got letters and paintings, and love-struck haikus. Just tell me, what am I supposed to do with all these pieces of you? Just tell me, what am I supposed to do with all these pieces of you? I've got 147 origami stars, 6 handmade guitar picks, and infinite hours. I've got letters and paintings, and love-struck haikus. Just tell me, what am I supposed to do with all these pieces of you?
Sometimes when I play solo acoustic shows, people want to advertise it and say, like, 2018 Guitarist of the Year, and I always feel a little bad because I'm like, you're not, that's not what you're about to see. I really consider it a matter of principle that when I do solo shows or when I do this kind of thing, I'm not trying to make it shreddy or pick arrangements that leave you going, wow, that person's an amazing guitar player. I really, going back to serving the song, because at the end of the day, the song is why any of us guitarists or drummers or producers are employed. And so I make a very conscious choice to keep my arrangements simple and keep the guitar parts simple and let it be in honor of the song itself. This song is called Passing Through.
I'm not a sailor and I'm not a saint. No map in the world to keep
always say, like, I didn't see some famous person and think, like, I want to do that. I want to be in the limo. If that were my goal, I would have very much failed at this point. But I was really lucky when I was starting. I made friends with a bunch of older bands who, in retrospect, were about as big then as JCR is now, slightly bigger. And they were working so hard. They were playing 250 dates a year. They were living in their van. They were absolutely scrabbling to get to do this. And they were making great records and touring Europe. And as a kid, I looked at that and I thought, that's what I want to do. And at some point, even if they're in a jet now, they were also carrying their own gear and sleeping on air mattresses and doing all of the same things. And so it creates this shared bond of, even though at some, in one sense you're at very different levels, you're all peers. You're all kind of doing the same thing. And I think that's really special. I mean, there are people who just started playing. I teach guitar lessons now. And, some of my students who just started playing. And then there are absolute legends to me. We've gotten to open a few times for Drivin' and Cryin', my very favorite band in the whole world. And I've gotten to know those guys. And the relationship between the people who just started and me and the guys in Drivin' and Cryin', at some level we all have this common language and this bond of community, even though we're, on the surface at very different levels.
There's a path that close on the floor beside my
Thank you all so much for having me. This was really cool.